3 months ago, my Uncle George, 67 years old, diabetic, and constantly tired, called me out of the blue with something I wasn't expecting. He said, "I'm going to try something different. I read somewhere that eating garlic with honey every morning could change your life." I paused. Garlic and honey? Together? It sounded like one of those bizarre health fads you see in the dark corners of the internet or forwarded on WhatsApp by your aunt. I chuckled and said, "All right, George, let me know how that works out for you." But what happened next left me speechless. By the third day, his voice had more energy. By day 5, he said he'd walked around the block without stopping, something he hadn't done in over a year. He told me, "I feel younger, like I got a second chance." And it wasn't just his energy levels. His sleep improved, his appetite balanced out, and even his face looked brighter. There was color in his cheeks again. The man who had struggled to get out of bed without groaning now woke up before sunrise to walk in the garden. That was when I knew this wasn't a gimmick. So I decided to try it too. Just a crushed clove of garlic, a teaspoon of raw honey, every morning before breakfast. Simple, almost too simple. But I told myself, what I have to lose? And by day 3, I realized something inside me had shifted. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. I didn't feel like I was dragging myself through the day anymore. Something was waking up inside me. I didn't expect a clove of garlic and a spoonful of honey to do that. But it did. And it might for you too. 1. Why garlic plus honey? Garlic has been around since ancient times, literally. It's been found in the tombs of Egyptian pharaohs, prescribed by Hippocrates, the father of medicine, and carried by Roman soldiers into battle. Not because it tasted good, but because it worked. Ancient Egyptians believed garlic gave them strength. The Greeks used it to fight infections long before modern antibiotics. It was nature's pharmacy, pungent, powerful, and, as we're beginning to rediscover, surprisingly relevant even today. And then there's honey. Not the processed kind you find in plastic bears at the supermarket, but raw, unfiltered honey, the kind bees have been making for millions of years. It was once used as currency, applied to wounds in ancient China, mixed into potions in India's Ayurvedic medicine, and praised in countless cultures as liquid gold. Why? Because it contains enzymes, antioxidants, and antimicrobial compounds that fight inflammation, soothe the gut, and fuel the immune system. Now combine the two. A clove of crushed garlic that releases allicin, a sulfur compound with potent healing properties, and a spoonful of raw honey, rich in phytonutrients that strengthen the body's defenses. Together, they're more than just a home remedy. They're a daily ritual that may support heart health, reduce bad cholesterol, boost immunity, improve digestion, and even help regulate blood sugar levels. But George didn't care about any of that. He wasn't reading medical journals or scrolling through wellness blogs. He just wanted to stop feeling like a shadow of himself. A former engineer, a proud grandfather of 6, a man who used to jog every morning now struggled to walk to the mailbox without gasping. His blood sugar was all over the place. He felt bloated, foggy, and constantly tired. And his spirit? You could hear it in his voice. Low, quiet, resigned. He said, "I'm too young to feel this old. I don't want to spend my golden years in hospitals. I don't want to be remembered as the guy who gave up." So he crushed 1 garlic clove, mixed it with a teaspoon of raw honey, and ate it every morning on an empty stomach, just once a day. The first day was tough. Garlic stung his tongue and burned slightly going down. But by the second day, he told me something strange happened. He felt a kind of warmth, not from the garlic, but inside. His energy wasn't spiking. It was stabilizing. And by day 3, he wasn't the only one noticing a change. His wife said, "You're smiling more." His neighbor asked if he'd been sleeping better. And me? I started asking myself, could something this simple really make that big of a difference? And so I began my own 7-day experiment. 2. The 7-day journey. When George first started, he didn't expect miracles. He just wanted to feel a little better. But the next 7 days were anything but ordinary. He kept a notebook by his recliner. He wrote down everything from how he slept to how his bowels moved. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't even easy, but it was real. Day 1 to 2. George said the garlic burned a little. It coated his tongue like fire and left a strange heat in his chest for about 15 minutes. He felt gassy, too, like something was stirring inside. Honestly, I did too when I joined. That sulfur smell of garlic hit me hard. I nearly gagged the first morning, but I remembered what he said. Give it a chance. If it can fix even a little of what's broken in me, it's worth it. We both stayed consistent. Same time each morning on an empty stomach, just garlic and honey. Then a glass of warm water. Simple, but as George wrote in his notebook, sometimes the simple things are what we've been missing. Day 3. That's when everything shifted. George called me early, 6:45 a.m. I almost didn't answer, but his voice sounded different. Lighter, brighter. I'm awake, he said. I don't know how to explain it. I just feel alive. No dragging his feet. Number 10 a.m. nap. He was outside watering his plants for the first time in 2 weeks. That same day, I finally took the plunge and joined him. We decided to walk this journey together, virtually. I told him, if garlic and honey got you to call me before 7 a.m., I'm in. Day 4 to 5. This part of the journey surprised me the most. My digestion, which had been a mess for months, suddenly calmed down. No more gurgling after meals. No sharp bloating. Everything felt smoother, balanced. George. He said his usual midday crash, the one where he needed 2 hours on the couch, never came. I kept waiting for the tired wave to hit, he said. But it didn't. It just didn't come. And that night, he cleaned out his garage. Not out of obligation, just because he had the energy. That shook me. This wasn't just a good day. It was a turning point. Day 6. Then came the sleep. We both slept like we hadn't in decades. No tossing. No turning. Number 3 a.m. trips to the bathroom. Just rest. That deep kind of rest where you wake up and feel like you actually slept. George told me over coffee. I haven't slept like this since my 40s. It's like something in my nervous system finally quieted down. I felt the same. I was waking up before my alarm. More alert. More motivated. Day 7. That's when we noticed the outside reflecting the inside. George's skin, dry and dull for years, looked clearer. There was a glow, a softness under his eyes that hadn't been there before. He smiled more. His voice was stronger. And me? My sugar cravings had plummeted. That 3 p.m. urge to reach for chocolate or coffee. Gone. Instead, I craved a walk. A stretch. Something alive. But the moment that cemented it for me was this. George walked a full mile, on his own. No cane. No walker. No help. Just one foot in front of the other. He texted me after, just 4 words. No pain. Just joy. I stared at that text for a long time. One small habit. 7 days. Big difference. Not a cure. Not magic. But a shift. A reminder that the body still wants to heal, no matter your age. You just have to give it what it's been asking for. But here's the thing. This wasn't just about how he felt. There's real science, hard facts, behind this simple duo. And what I found when I dug deeper left me even more convinced that this could help so many others like George. And maybe even you. 3. The science behind it. Let's take a step back and look at why garlic and honey work so well together. This isn't some random combination. There's actual science behind it. And it's fascinating, especially when you're over 40, when our bodies start to need more care and attention. If you've been feeling sluggish, run down, or even just a little off, this combo might be just what you need. The power of garlic. Garlic has been revered for centuries. But it's not just folklore. It's packed with powerful compounds that work wonders for our health. The secret? Allicin. Allicin is a sulfur compound that forms when garlic is crushed or chopped. It's the stuff that gives garlic its distinct smell and powerful effects. When you consume garlic regularly, allicin works in several key ways. Lowers blood pressure. Studies have shown that allicin helps relax blood vessels, allowing for better circulation. In fact, it can have the same effect as some blood pressure medications, but naturally, without the side effects. Fights cholesterol. Allicin helps lower LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, and raises HDL cholesterol, the good kind. This can contribute to better heart health, especially as we get older, and it's an essential factor in maintaining a healthy cardiovascular system. Strengthens immunity. Garlic is known to boost your immune system by stimulating the production of white blood cells. This means your body is better equipped to fend off infections and diseases. The wonders of honey. Now let's talk about honey. You might already know honey is sweet, but did you know it's also a powerhouse of nutrients? Honey is packed with antioxidants, natural substances that fight free radicals and reduce oxidative stress in the body. As we age, oxidative stress increases, leading to premature aging, joint pain, and even chronic diseases like heart disease. But that's not all. Honey offers some incredible benefits. Supports gut health. Honey contains prebiotics, food for the good bacteria in your gut. A healthy gut is crucial for digestion, immunity, and even mental health. The gut-brain connection is something we're only starting to understand, and honey can help balance your gut microbiome, leading to improved overall health. Fights infections. Thanks to its antimicrobial properties, honey can help fight off infections and soothe sore throats. It can even aid in healing wounds due to its natural ability to attract moisture and support tissue regeneration. Calms inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a common issue as we age, leading to pain, discomfort, and conditions like arthritis. Honey contains compounds that reduce inflammation, offering a natural way to calm joint pain and discomfort. Together, garlic plus honey equals powerful health duo. So, what happens when you combine garlic and honey? The magic really happens. Together, these two ingredients become even more powerful. They complement each other, enhancing the benefits for your heart, blood sugar levels, digestion, and even your energy. Let's break it down. Improved heart health. The combined power of garlic's ability to lower cholesterol and blood pressure, along with honey's anti-inflammatory properties, helps reduce the risk of heart disease. As we age, heart health becomes a top priority, and this duo works to keep your cardiovascular system running smoothly. Blood sugar regulation. Garlic has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and help regulate blood sugar levels. When combined with honey, which has a low glycemic index, it helps prevent those sugar spikes and crashes that can leave you feeling drained. This is especially important for those with diabetes or prediabetes, as garlic and honey can help manage blood sugar naturally. Reduced fatigue and joint stiffness. Both garlic and honey have properties that can alleviate fatigue and reduce joint stiffness. Garlic combats chronic fatigue by boosting energy and circulation, while honey soothes joint inflammation, helping you feel more flexible and pain-free. You see, especially after 40, our bodies need extra support. As we age, our metabolism slows down, our immune systems weaken, and our bodies become more prone to stress and inflammation. These two ingredients, garlic and honey, are like natural armor, fortifying us from the inside out. They work synergistically to support our heart, digestion, immunity, and energy levels. It's like building a foundation for your future health, and it doesn't take much, just a teaspoon of garlic and honey every morning. But here's the important part. Not all honey is created equal. But before you grab any honey off the shelf at your local grocery store, there's something critical you need to know to ensure you're doing this safely. Because not all honey is real honey. And using the wrong type could defeat the purpose entirely. Let me show you what you really need to look for. 4. How to use it safely. Now that we've explored the science behind garlic and honey, let's talk about how to use them safely. Because while this combination has incredible benefits, it's important to follow the right steps to get the most out of it. You can't just throw these ingredients together and expect miracles. It's about the right preparation, the right timing, and a little bit of knowledge. Here's the exact method George and I used, and why it works so well. The recipe George and I used. Let's start with the exact recipe we followed. This is what worked for us, and it's super simple. 1 small raw garlic clove. The key here is to crush it and then let it sit for about 10 minutes. Why? When garlic is chopped or crushed, it activates a compound called alliin, which then transforms into allicin, the powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compound we're after. Letting it sit for a few minutes maximizes the allicin release. 1 teaspoon of raw, organic honey. Make sure your honey is raw and unprocessed. Regular honey from the grocery store might not offer the same health benefits because it's often pasteurized, which destroys many of the nutrients. Raw honey is packed with antioxidants, enzymes, and beneficial bacteria. Take it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. This is crucial. Taking it on an empty stomach helps your body absorb it more effectively, giving your digestive system the best chance to benefit from the raw garlic and honey. Chew slowly, or wash it down with warm water. Chewing slowly allows the garlic to mix with your saliva and begin the digestive process, while warm water can help soothe the strong taste of raw garlic. I recommend sipping on the water, rather than gulping it down quickly, to avoid overwhelming your system. Wait 20 to 30 minutes before breakfast. This step is important. Giving your body some time before you eat helps the garlic and honey work their magic without being diluted or interrupted by food. Your body can absorb the maximum benefits in this time window. Important tips for safe use. While this remedy is simple, there are a few important safety tips to keep in mind. Garlic and honey are both incredibly potent, but they should be used correctly to avoid any negative side effects. Here are some things to remember. Use raw, unprocessed honey only. I cannot stress this enough. The honey you get from your local store may look good, but it's often been processed, which means the enzymes, antioxidants, and nutrients that make it so powerful are destroyed. Only raw, organic honey has the full spectrum of benefits. Avoid if you're on blood thinners or sensitive to garlic. Garlic has a natural blood-thinning effect, which can be beneficial in some cases, but not for everyone. If you are taking blood thinners or have a condition that affects your blood circulation, you should consult your doctor before starting this remedy. Additionally, some people have an intolerance to raw garlic, which can cause stomach irritation or even allergic reactions. It's always best to check with your healthcare provider before beginning any new health regimen. Don't exceed 1 clove per day, especially if you're new to raw garlic. Garlic is incredibly powerful, and while it's safe for most people, consuming too much can cause digestive upset, especially if your body isn't used to it. If you're new to raw garlic, it's best to start with half a clove and gradually work your way up to a full clove per day. Trust me, there's no need to overdo it. 1 small clove is plenty to get the benefits. It's important to approach this with the right mindset. It's not about quick fixes. This is a simple, sustainable change you can make to support your health. For George and me, this small habit had a profound effect on our energy, our mood, and our overall well-being. And the best part? It's affordable, easy to make, and accessible to almost everyone. So why not give it a try yourself? You've got nothing to lose, and you might just feel like a new person in a week. If it helped George, and it helped me, maybe it'll help you too. But remember, before you start, make sure you're following the recipe correctly and taking the necessary precautions. Always listen to your body. And if you're unsure about anything, don't hesitate to speak with your healthcare provider. This little habit could be the first step in a more vibrant, healthier future. So why not start tomorrow morning with this simple remedy and see how you feel? But there's one more thing you should know. After 7 days of garlic and honey, you might feel some surprising changes in your body, but what happens after a full month will truly shock you. I'll share the long-term effects in just a moment. Stay tuned. George's transformation wasn't just about garlic and honey. It was about taking control of his health, no matter how small the steps seemed. Over the past few months, I've watched him go from being exhausted, grumpy, and reliant on his cane, to being the man he once was. He's gardening again, something he'd stopped doing years ago because he didn't have the energy. He's walking without assistance, taking long strides that make him feel free, something he hadn't felt in a long time. But the most powerful part? He feels like himself again. That's what this journey has been about for him. And, to be honest, for me too. I used to believe that getting older meant a gradual decline. That's just how life worked, right? But after seeing George's transformation, I realized something. We are not at the mercy of our age. We can fight back against the exhaustion, the stiffness, the lack of energy that comes with time. Sometimes, it's not about turning to expensive pills or complicated regimens. Sometimes, the most effective solutions are the simplest ones. And in our case, it started with one small change every single morning. Garlic and honey, a combination that, on the surface, might seem so basic, so simple, but is profoundly powerful when done consistently. If you're over 40, 50, 60, or even 70, and you're tired of feeling drained, sluggish, or disconnected from your own vitality, this could be your turning point. It's easy to believe that our bodies simply break down as we get older. But the truth is, we have so much control over our health. The key is consistency. You don't need to make drastic, overwhelming changes. Start small. Take one step at a time. Even a tiny habit like eating garlic and honey in the morning can spark a chain of positive effects in your life. And over time, those small changes will add up. Remember, it's about building resilience from the inside out, naturally. No artificial shortcuts. No quick fixes. Just patience, consistency, and the right ingredients. George proved it to me, proving to himself that he could still be the person he wanted to be. He reclaimed his strength, and he rediscovered a zest for life that had been lost for far too long. Now, he doesn't just talk about what he used to do. He's living it. And he's living it today. That's the power of small, intentional habits. That's the power of something so simple as garlic and honey. But let's get one thing clear. This isn't a quick fix. If you're looking for a one-time magic solution, then this might not be the right path for you. But if you're looking to make a lasting change, something that's not going to fade away in a few weeks, then this is something worth trying. Consistency, that's the key to seeing results. Keep at it. And over time, you'll begin to notice the shift in your body, in your energy, and in your life. So, here's your invitation. Take charge of your health today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start with this small habit and see where it can take you. Because, trust me, small changes like these can have huge results. And when you add up all those little changes over time, you'll realize you're not just taking back your health, you're taking back your life. Now, don't expect everything to change overnight. Change takes time. But know that every morning you take that garlic and honey, you are moving one step closer to feeling better, looking better, and living better. You're not just doing this for the temporary boost. You're doing this for the long haul. You're doing this for a better, healthier future. And that's the kind of future I want for myself and for you. If you're ready to take your health back, start tomorrow. Try garlic and honey for a week. See how it feels. You deserve to feel alive again. And if you've already tried it or have any thoughts on your own health journey, drop a comment below. Let's keep this conversation going. Share your story. Share your thoughts. We're all in this together. Let's help each other live better. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more health tips, inspiration, and real stories about how simple habits can truly change your lives. Stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, after a month of this routine, the results get even more astonishing. I'll share more about that soon, so keep an eye out. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. If George's story inspired you or made you think twice, please like this video, subscribe for more simple and powerful health insights, and share this with someone who needs it. Have you tried garlic and honey? Did you feel different? Tell us your story in the comments. It might be the lifeline someone else needs to stay safe, stay strong, and stay hopeful.